Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fright Friday right here on Night Owl Video. Today we're reviewing this movie, House at the End of the Street. Is this a fright-worthy film? Definitely not. Stick around to find out why. We're going to be talking about cast, production, my thoughts on the film, the whole 9 yards. So I hope you stick around. Thank you to everybody who's joined my channel recently. As of the recording of this video, I think I'm up to 242 subscribers, which is incredible. I've gained like 142 followers in like 2 months or something like that. So it's really cool. Thank you to everybody who's decided to follow along. Leave your comments, give me a thumbs up, all that jazz. Really awesome. Really keeps me excited for doing this channel. I mean, I'm gonna do this channel anyway because I just like talking about movies and I'm a big huge nerd. But having some people follow along and comment and stuff like that, that's also really cool. So today we're talking about this movie, House at the End of the Street. This is from 2012. It's listed as a horror thriller, but I would really struggle to call this a horror movie. It's really more of a thriller. This film was directed by a person named Mark Tonderai, whose only other film credit that I even remotely recognized was the sequel to Day of the Dead called Day of the Dead Bloodline. I've never heard anything good about that, so I've always avoided it. Not to be mean, but I kind of wish I had avoided this film as well. But we'll get into that. Trust me, we'll get into it. So the funny thing about this movie actually is that I thought this was a remake of a different movie. I thought this was a remake of Last House on the Left. So when I was buying this movie, I was thinking this is a modern take on Last House on the Left. So when I started watching the movie and the plot was very, very different, obviously, I was like, wait a sec, what is going on here? Did they just totally rewrite this story or whatever? And then it clicked in and I was like, oh my God, this isn't a remake of Last House on the Left. This is House at the End of the Street. I don't know. I got mixed up. So I had this weird kind of fumble at the beginning of watching this movie, thinking it was something completely different. So I did, when I realized my mistake, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I can settle into a new movie, a new story, and maybe this will be really awesome. This stars of the ever-lovely Jennifer Lawrence, who was also in Hunger Games. She's probably best known for that series. She also has a new comedy coming out called No Hard Feelings, which looks really funny and awkward. This also stars one of my all-time favorites, Elizabeth Shue, who is, of course, in Leaving Las Vegas with Nicolas Cage, a very sad movie if you've never seen that one, as well as Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon, and, of course, one of my favorite 80s movies, Adventures in Babysitting. This also stars a person named Max Terrio, who was in Bates Motel, as well as My Soul to Take. I have not seen any of that stuff, but he does seem recognizable. The synopsis for this film is, in search of a fresh start, divorcee Sarah, played by Elizabeth Shue, and her daughter, Alyssa, played by Jennifer Lawrence, find their dream house in a small town. But when startling, unexplainable events begin, the pair learn that a chilling secret holds the town in its grip. Years earlier, a girl killed her parents and disappeared, leaving a brother, Ryan, played by Max Terrio, as the sole survivor. Elizabeth begins a relationship with Ryan, and the closer they get, the deeper they're all pulled into a dangerous mystery. So, yeah, I would say this is more of like a mystery thriller. Even at the end, it kind of had, not that I would compare it to Silence of the Lambs, but it kind of had that going through a basement of a house, like kind of in the dark and not knowing, it kind of had that vibe to it. Like it was trying maybe to be that, but like failing miserably. But anyway, we'll get to my thoughts. And I keep wanting to jump the gun. As you can tell, I've got some strong feelings about this movie. But the film was originally announced to come in 2003 with Jonathan Mastow directing and Richard Kelly writing. The film went through development hell for 7 years until production was revived in 2010 with Mark Tonderai directing and a person named David Luca writing instead. Principal photography and filming mostly took place in Metcalfe, Ontario and Carp, Ontario from August of 2010 to September of 2010. So it was a short filming process. Although filming had been completed in 2010, the film was not released until 2012 by Relativity Media. Despite a negative response from critics, the film was a moderate commercial success. The budget was around $10 million, and the box office was approximately $44 million. So it actually did do quite well in the box office. I'll flip it around so you can see the back. The film had its theatrical premiere in the United States on September 21st of 2012 and was released in Canada on the same date. The film was released theatrically in Sweden and Spain. Sorry, the film was not released theatrically in Sweden or Spain, but was released direct-to-video on January 30th, 2013 in Sweden and August 28th of 2013 in Spain. So that's a weird fact. A tie-in novelization of the movie was released in August of 2012 to accompany the movie. House at the End of the Street was released on DVD and Blu-ray disc in January of 2013. The unrated cut was released in January of 2013. The extended edition increased the length of certain scenes in the final cut by a few seconds, and the amount of violence, blood, and gore was increased by a small amount. The critical response for this film was not good. It currently holds a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's based on 66 reviews with an average rating of 3.72 out of 10. Critics did not like this film when it came out. I can kind of see why. My thoughts on this film, I would struggle to give this a 2 out of 5. The acting was very good. Jennifer Lawrence and Elizabeth Shue and Max Terrio all did really good jobs with the acting. And I think there is a story there that could be really good and really tense. I don't think it was handled all that well as far as the pacing. It just seemed to just drag on and on and on. You have to wait. This is an hour and 40 minutes long. You've got to wait till about like an hour and 10 minutes before it starts to get anywhere like thrilling or exciting. That it plods along. Again, the acting was really good. I really thought Jennifer Lawrence did a great job in this film. And I think this was kind of hot on the heels of the Hunger Games. So she was kind of like an up-and-coming star. And probably that's why it did so well at the box office, because people wanted to see more of her. And again, she was really great in the movie. Elizabeth Shue was really good. But the film just didn't do anything. It just sat there for the longest time. And I thought, now this is after I realized, okay, I'm not watching a remake of I'm not watching a remake of Last House on the Left. I'm watching a completely different movie. I'm going in sort of completely blind, not really knowing now what this movie's about. And I'm just trying to find something in this movie. I mean, I'm enjoying Jennifer Lawrence and Elizabeth Shue, but the story just... And like I said, by the end of the movie, I was like, the story's kind of cool, actually. Like, I could see it working as kind of a horror thriller, but there's no horror to it, and there's really not much of a thrill until you get to like that last 20 or 30 minutes. So you really have to be prepared to go into this movie with that kind of... Be patient, like sitting there for an hour and 10 minutes. If you decide to watch it after this review, you probably won't, but... I'm not going to totally dump on this movie. I thought it did have some charms, but overall, I can see why the critics really did not care for this film. Now, I don't know what fans liked or thought about this movie. I'm sure fans of Jennifer Lawrence and Elizabeth Shue probably enjoyed it for the acting, much like I did. But again, just didn't... there was something missing, and I think it was the pacing. The dialogue wasn't terrible. And Max Terrio playing the kind of like sad, kind of like lost guy, and then realizing, oh, he's not really that sad, and there's some other things going on with him. When he did that kind of like switch over to that character, like, he was pretty convincing. But so this version I watched is the unrated version. You have the option on this disc of watching the theatrical or the unrated. I chose the unrated. Now, maybe I would watch the theatrical and it would be shortened up, and maybe it would be a tighter movie, but anyway. Um, this, as far as special features go, I don't see any. This has a runtime of 101 minutes, as I mentioned. It's a Region 1 DVD. It's rated 14 for violence, frightening scenes, and language that may offend. Yeah. I'm doing my best to not swear on my channel. I've done pretty good. I think I had one slip up there once, but this movie, I don't remember this having excessive swearing in it, but there's the inside. There's Jennifer Lawrence on the disc. I really like Jennifer Lawrence. I'm not gonna lie. I think she's really cool. If you see interviews with her, she's really like down to earth, really lighthearted, kind of funny and quirky, and I just really like her. Elizabeth Shue, like I said, I've been watching her all of my life, so to see her playing a mom now, it's like, oh, cool, like. I mean, I realize this movie is over 10 years old now, but I kind of like that when I see people from my or movie stars from my generation, and now they're playing like the older characters, and you kind of get to see them in a different light. I do like that about this as well. But yeah, this, like I said, this just didn't land, which was unfortunate because I think it had a good cast and a somewhat promising story, but just didn't happen. Let me know your thoughts on this film. Did you watch this movie? What did you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? If you liked it, tell me more about that. Because I did want to like this movie. I just also wanted to stay awake. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Consider giving me a thumbs up if you like this review or you like reviews on my channel. Consider subscribing to Night Owl Video if you haven't already. You can follow me over on Instagram at Night Owl Video, where I usually post what I'm going to be reviewing for the week, or I usually post it on the day of, so you kind of know, oh, there's a new video. So this week I have, this past week I had a thrifting haul video on Wednesday, and on Tuesday for Cult Movie Tuesday I reviewed this little gem, Idle Hands. So if you missed those this week, go back and check them out. But in the meantime, leave your comments below on this film, what you thought of this. I'd love to hear some other thoughts on this film. And until then, until next video, I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. But until then, please take good care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.